I love, with all the critique you hear, our education system. I think it is absolutely fantastic. And I love the debate around it too. They're always trying to improve it. Now, I was raised in the 40s and 50s. That was a half century ago, or actually more than a half century plus 10. Isn't that one score? And one of the things I found in our education system is it gives us the opportunity for the individual. That means that person that really cares can go somewhere. Now, I think the educational system, when I was growing up, was absolutely the fine. I think about it now and I look back and I can't think of a better system that I could create myself. Now, even then, there were the critiques. I mean, something was always wrong with the educational system, especially with those parents that had problem children, because who should be responsible for them? Not the parents. It has to be the system. But for those, like my parents and her kids, we were all good students. We weren't great students, we were all good students. And I knew, because of the stories my mom tells, about how hard it was for them 20 and 30 years earlier to get an education. And I looked at the system that I was going to, and I look and it hasn't changed much. Okay, you get a few more things than we had, and a few less. We didn't have some of the extra stuff. And we didn't have all the people evaluating us and looking through our minds to see if we were thinking right. But I wasn't raised in a nice part of town. I mean, I was raised in the lower middle class, and we had our gangs, and Blackboard Jungle was just down the street on one side, and I go a few miles the other way, and I had the rich people. And I could go over and play with one group one week, and I could go play in the other group. But going to school, we all mixed in. And those of us that really cared to go somewhere had the opportunity. And the education system now, for the person that cares, whether they're in South Oakland or whether they're in a very rich place. Because I think, and I sit and watch some of these movies now with the Sunset Strip, some of the movies with all the kids. In the rich people's schools, they seem to have the same problems that the poor people's schools seem to have. And the kids that study have the opportunity to go to the next step. And those that study harder, spend the extra time, get an opportunity to go to the next step. And our education system, for all the things they say about it, has been exported all over the world. In fact, the only way they could have done evaluations on how well we did is if they had the same system. So our system has been taken and put all over the world. Every country has somewhat of a model of the system that we set up in the United States. Now, I know there's problems, and I know there's cruddy teachers, but there was karate teachers when I was going, and there was good teachers. And I could take things when I was growing up, like typing. Now, what boy takes typing? I did. I took typing in 7th grade because I chose to. Because I looked and I said, what would be something that I would have a great tool to use? Now, In junior high, I was the toughest kid in junior high. Everyone looked up at me, and I was really one mean sucker. And I used to go out, and I'd go out and I'd take anyone on in the whole school, and I'd beat them. But I'd know that when I was going somewhere, I had to be educated. And I was the only boy in typing class. And I got that if I didn't do it for me, my parents weren't responsible for me, and the teachers weren't responsible for me, I was responsible for me. And I got that really early in life because my ma didn't make it into secondary school because she was orphaned and she was put to work as a maid. And my dad was taken out of work to go to work on the road construction with his dad. Neither one of them had any education. And I knew, even being the toughest kid, that I had to get educated, and I was responsible for me. Any person in our education system, the system is there for them to be successful. That is the key. It is there. It is there for the lowest kid in America, and it's there for the richest kid. And all of them can take it or not take it, but it's there. It gives us an opportunity, no matter where we are, what class we are, to go to the heights. Now, I started learning, and I finally, after the whole thing, I started learning because I liked it. It took, well, maybe I was 28. But I got that education is like Zen. You have to keep doing the basics to really grow with it. But our system allows you to do that. And although I worked 40 hours every week going to college, the system was there, and there was always some little person or an organization that would help me with a few dollars to go. Our education right now is just as relevant, and those that really care can make it.